Hello, my name is Gemma Walder and I'm part of the community fundraising team at the Cystic Fibrosis Trust. The Cystic Fibrosis Trust has been running for 51 years. We are the only UK-wide charity making a daily difference to the lives of people with cystic fibrosis and those who care for them. Since we started in 1964, we have dedicated ourselves to promoting excellence in research and clinical care, as well as providing practical support and advice to people with cystic fibrosis and their families.
Umar was born on 29th of January 1993. He weighed £5.14. As far as we were concerned, he was a healthy child. Unfortunately, as time went by, we realised that there was a problem. Umar wasn't gaining weight at the beginning. 3 months later, when he should have doubled his weight, he was 5 pounds. So out of concern, we went to the doctors and told them that this is the problem we're facing. And they said that it is a matter of concern. So they decided to make inquiries. As time went by, Umar became sicker, hungrier, and then that's when Umar was admitted into hospital. Not knowing what was wrong with him was more frightening for us, because as far as we were concerned, he was a healthy child. As the doctors kept calling us back to hospital and telling us that this is the progress they made, still they didn't have an answer for his illness. And then they decided to get more personal about our family tree, about if there's any illnesses they should know about in our past. Once Umar was diagnosed with CF, we breathed a sigh of relief because at least we know what's wrong with him. The question is, what can we do about it? So that's when the regime of medication started. Some of the medication was traumatizing. Some of the treatments were testing for us. As time went by, Umar started school, and we told the school staff that this is what Umar's got. We told them, gave them information, names and addresses of nurses and doctors they can contact. So Umar started school, everything went fine, but as the time in school progressed, he became sick, so the doctors called him back in. That's when they came up with a regime where they should have Umar admitted for 2 weeks every 3 months. And that was testing for us because that meant taking time off work, him being taken out of school for these treatments. Then Umar started first school, which was good, but still again, Umar was sick. He had to be taken out, 2 weeks of IV antibiotics, 2 weeks of medication therapies, then taken back in. His loss wasn't extreme, but it was testing. Then he started middle school, and the medication, the older he got, the more medication he had, the sicker he got as well. But at the end of the day, he still made us very proud. It wasn't his illness, it was our illness. And it was also assuring to know that we weren't the only ones with this kind of condition. Umar wasn't the only one who was coping with cystic fibrosis. But now, looking at the bright side, he's finished high school, he's at university, and some doctors at that time in his earlier years thought that we will not be able to see him go to university. But here he is, and as always, he's made me very proud. He's made his mother very proud, and hopefully in the not so distant future, he's going to graduate. And let's just say, good luck to him.
Cystic fibrosis is an illness that affects different people in different ways. But with me in particularly, it's something that I've had to go through for 22 years. And having heard about the life expectancy of people living with CF up to the age of 30 is something that keeps me going, because it's something that really helps me to take on challenges that I never thought I'll ever take, like working for media companies or taking on different roles at university or taking medication. Having family and friends support me is a big thing in life, especially living with cystic fibrosis. They always keep you positive and they make you take on limits that you thought you'll never be able to take on. My parents used to always do my physiotherapy when I was at a young age. They used to help me with my treatment. But now I'm doing everything independently. I appreciate what my parents had to go through and the challenges that they had to face whilst bringing me up. From what I know, this illness can cause major issues with the lungs in particularly. If there isn't medication that can help or a cure, this illness can cause issues that will result in having a lung transplant, and that's a very hard thing to go through. So for all the stuff that my family had to do when I was young, even now, I thank them a lot for that, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them.
Living with someone with cystic fibrosis can be hard sometimes, because I see him suffering every day and I feel like I can't do anything about it, and that's really upsetting to me.
Umar having CF has affected the whole family. We've always been worried about him and how his health is. As a child growing up, he's had many hospital stays, and during those stays some have been quite lengthy. I'd been the eldest child in the family. His younger sisters were born, and when one of his sisters was born, he was actually admitted in hospital and having treatment for his own illness. So logistically, I think we've had some challenging times with that growing up. Going to school, we've had to make sure that he keeps up with his creon and taking his medication on time and all his physio. Hospital visits, initially he was kept closer to home in a local hospital in Redditch, but then as he got older he needed to be more under specialist care, which meant he had to go and stay in Birmingham Children's Hospital, which is further away. He always had a smile on his face. He kept positive throughout all of his treatment and has carried on using that same energy through his life and through any illness that has been thrown at him with his CF, especially chest infections. As he's got older, his hospital stays have changed from Children's Hospital to Heartlands Hospital, which is even further away. So there's a lot of travelling, having to negotiate who's going to go when, making sure that he's never left in hospital during an evening without some company. Because during the day we were all at work and take the children at school, we made sure that during the evenings a member of the family would always be there for him to keep him company, because having the treatment in hospital has been a very lonely time for him. As he's grown up, he's taught himself how to do his intravenous antibiotics. He's taught himself how to take his night feeds, which has given him so much independence. It's been really good to see how much independence it's given him, and how organised he's been and making sure that he takes all his medications on time.
Going to university can be an all-time challenge. One of the challenges that I face is juggling my assignments and my medication. Luckily, the university provides extra time if need be. I also have supportive friends and family that help me through my hard times at university.
When I first met Umar, I didn't even know he had an illness. That's how well he copes with it. You have to get to know Umar before you said, you don't know yet. You recognise he has an illness, but you just see him and he's just there. He's on track with everything. He's on track with his work. He's on track with deadlines, and it just makes you look at yourself and just think, like, why can't I be like that? I mean, I don't suffer the illness that Umar unfortunately suffers from, but you look at him and just like, well, if he can put all that effort in, make his deadlines at that time, then it's something I should really be looking to try and do as well. So yeah, you're definitely an inspiration.
I would describe Umar as very passionate, especially about media studies and a career in the media, and he's very motivated in doing so.
Yeah, he's really determined, despite aspects of his life which might hold him back. He doesn't let them hold him back, he just gets on with it.
He's probably more organised than all of us as well.
Yeah.
He's always on the ball and always first to get things done as well. If I didn't know Umar very personally, I wouldn't know that he's struggled with an illness. Doing a third year university course is so stressful, never mind what he's going through, so yeah, I think he's balanced it extremely well.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know how he's managed to strike such a good balance between the two. Yes, we're very proud of him.
Yeah. I always think if Umar can be doing all of this, as well as going through his illness and the balance that he's got, it makes me want to get my act together and try harder, definitely.
I agree. Whenever Umar messages us about work and he's always the first to have it done, that always kind of whips us into shape, doesn't it? He's more organised, and
he's definitely inspiring as a person. I wish I actually could be more like him with deadlines and doing the work and getting it done first.
Yeah, definitely.
He's been able to get the good grades that he's wanted mostly, and also managed to find time to deal with it alongside his uni work. I do think Umar finds it a good balance between his work and dealing with his illness, and has been able to get the grades mostly that he wanted. Umar definitely gives me that push that I need with work, and makes sure that he's a constant reminder that, that we've all got stuff to do with in our lives and we manage to balance it, and he's showing us that he can do that.
I try my hardest not to think about it too much, and I try my hardest not to think about it too much and keep myself positive and hope for the best until there is a cure.
Every move that I made, every inch I've grown. In my heart and my soul, you're in my bones. Wanna feel everything you do. 'Cause at the end of the day, all I need is you.